Okay, so once again you are most welcome. Okay, yeah, my name is Mtanda Samil. Okay, good. So I think we are good to go. We are still continuing with our revision series of our Ginger Joint Mock Examinations Board, which we simply call Jjeb. Okay, so we are now in for item 3, which is a set theory number. And please, I keep on telling you that as far as mathematics is concerned, it's after I've looked at the scenario that now you can say it's a walkover. Because I know right now when I talk about set theory, some people are like, no, we are just good in that area. But it's good to always look at the scenario, watch the video, and there will be always that something new, which can at least put you somewhere. There's always something new, I guess. Okay. Then also, please, I want to send out my apologies again. Okay, in a day, what I can tell you that I receive over 50 texts, WhatsApp texts, in fact, from different people, of course, subscribers, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm very, very happy. Please, to some point in a time, I may not be able to respond to all of them, by the way. So I kindly apologize. I may not be in a position to respond to each and every text sent forward. However, I appreciate for whoever text them and comments, and that person who texts them and writes to me. Okay. Then, like I told you, why not to respond to the text? Please, I'm also a professional teacher who is always busy with some course, of course. We are in third term, and now facilitations are at the order of the day. And of course, we can't do without them. Right. So, it is even the reason why I take long to upload some of the videos, because I always get my hands on to some other tasks. Okay, anyway, hope that doesn't offend anyone. Alright, let's I think proceed. Yes, yeah, again we remind you to subscribe to the channel. Please, it's just a 1 second required, in fact, for you to subscribe. Let it not make you miss out the next uploads. Of course, like we had said, this channel will be limited to whoever has not subscribed. You will have to be paying before you access the channel. YouTube gives us liberty to limit who must watch the channel. Anyway, big thanks to YouTube as an app. Anyway, so make sure you subscribe such that you don't miss out the next videos. Anyway, if you're watching when you're not subscribed, what if when you subscribe, that's when you'll be able to see some of the videos, of course. So just take your time and subscribe. Please consider sharing this video to whoever may find it important. Okay, once again, my name is Mtanda Samir. We are in for Jjeb item 3. And I've said it is a set theory number. And when it comes to set theory, you are never sure until when you are sure, by the way. So let's go into it. Okay, good. So here we are. Let's make some bit of analysis. Slow but sure, we move. So they're saying, as a requirement for the NLSC, of course, you know that in full. Okay, learners in a certain institution have to opt for either food and nutrition, F, fine art. All right, fine art. In fact, here we have some clarification. All right, good. So we are trying to make some analysis here. Okay, so we're saying learners in a certain institution have to opt for either food and nutrition, F, fine art, A, or Chinese, C, as a language. Out of 120 senior 1 learners who joined the institution this year, now I think you can really see that is the number in the universal, by the way. Let's start analyzing this straight away without wasting time. Okay, so out of 120 learners, with that number, let's be summarizing. Number in the universal is equal to 120. Okay, good. Here we are. Who joined the institution this year? Okay, 40 opted to do fine art. So between that number in A, which is fine art, A, here I've clarified that fine art is letter A, is 40. Let's be summarizing slowly. Okay, the number of learners who opted to do Chinese, so that the number of learners who opted to do Chinese, which is letter C, is twice the number of those who opted to do food and nutrition. So shall we analyzing that, is twice the number of those who opted to do food and nutrition, which is simply letter what? F. Let's go on. Okay, good. So the head teacher agreed to purchase the new textbooks if the probability of a learner taking Chinese is greater than 50%. It means that this head teacher will only buy the new textbook for Chinese as a subject if the probability of learners who are taking that Chinese is greater than 50%. We shall be going into that. Okay. Now this one here about probability, it's after you finish our Venn diagram that now we can come back for it. So first of all, leave it, we proceed. So they're saying in the first month, okay, some learners were still finding out which subjects they can take, and some ended up studying more than one subject. Oh, anyway, okay, 10 learners studied all the 3 subjects. That means that number in, we have number in food and nutrition intersection, fine art intersection, okay, Chinese is how much? Is 10. Like I have that. Okay, good. Okay, 25 studied foods and nutrition. So it means that number in food intersection, the word and means intersection, food and nutrition. 25 studied food and nutrition. Okay, let's proceed. 25 studied the foods and nutrition. Okay, now they're saying 10. Okay, let's proceed. All right, good. So I think we can now proceed. Okay, now they're saying 25 learners here. 25 learners. In fact, 25 studied the food and nutrition and fine art, meaning that number in food, which is F, food and nutrition, then fine art, then what you have there is 25. Take note that the number in the intersection, that intersection actually, that N means and. Okay, 25. Okay, then 10 studied only fine art. 10 studied only fine art. So number in, allow me just read like this, number in fine art only, though we have the set language here, but let me just go direct, is equal to 10. Fine art only is equal to, all right, is equal to 10, simple. Okay, we proceed. That's the thing. 12 studied on the foods and nutrition and Chinese. So number in food, intersection, food and nutrition is the same thing. By the food and nutrition is the same thing. Food and nutrition F, then and the Chinese is C, but they said only. That will be how much? It's going to be, okay, a 12 right there. Okay, and I think with that we shall be good to go with the tasks. So tasks, they're saying part A, they're saying, should the head teacher buy more Chinese textbooks? Remember, in order for him to buy Chinese textbooks, they said that the number of learners who are opting for Chinese as a subject must be greater than the probability of them taking Chinese as a subject must be greater than 50%. So they like justify your answer. So you must give them with the calculation to defend that. Determine the likelihood that a learner studied more than one subject. We shall be looking into that. Determine the number of learners who opted for a required number of subjects. We shall still be stepping in for that. Now, just to take you back here on this stuff. Now we have these things summarized the other side. This data here summarized in another part. Let's go there. We see how we can put it in the Venn diagram. Okay, so let's go there. Okay, so to begin with, we had that. So our title will say a Venn diagram showing subjects offered by learners. Now that's the simple title I've chosen to use, but someone can just say a Venn diagram. Then that can be, anyway, I don't know, but it's better you talk about what the question is talking about. Like here, they're talking about subjects, so you can just say a Venn diagram showing subjects offered by learners or by senior 1 learners, like that. But as far as the set numbers are concerned, or section B part 1 or just section B, always must give us a title. Okay, hope that really makes some bit of sense. And with that, let's see the summary. So we had the number in the universe was 120. That is from just right here. Okay, from here, number in the universe was 20. Like from here, they gave it to us. It is here, and even the summary is just right here. Okay, good. So let's go back. Okay, so number in the universe was 20, and then number in fine art was A. We read that. You can rewind the video. We summarized that already in the start of the video. The number in C is twice. Now we had that logic. Number in C is twice number in F. Now here, please, I'll clarify a little bit. This is the logic part. I've just picked it out. Now whenever I talk about number in C, is we have the word twice, number in F. When you're letting, you come and say let. Now you let this last past thing you mentioned, let number in F be equal to any letter. Maybe for example X. Yes. But what does the word twice mean? The word twice means times what? 2. So if number in F, which is this, is just X, then this was first one they talked about here. So we now come and say that number in C is equal to 2x, because twice means you're going to multiply by 2, and with that you'll have, okay, so let number in F equal to x, you see that, then number in C will just be 2x. Hope that really makes some bit of sense. And now we have broken down the, okay, the logic part. The next they told us that does the number in C. Alright, so I think let's proceed. Alright, so let's proceed. Okay, let's proceed. So they're going to have, okay, so we have, now what you must know is that, alright, good. So there we are. Now still in our summary, we say that the number of those who like all the three, it was 10. If you can check back in the question, those who like all the three, fine art, okay, Chinese and fine art, they were 10. Then also, please, you can run the video, I explained that already. Then also number in F intersection A, that is those who offer food and nutrition and fine art, were 25. Okay, so number in F intersection C intersection that complement, which this means that, okay, this simply means that, okay, this is the same as F only. This area here, the same as just number in F only, if you can really look into that. Now this one means that the number in F and C only is 12. F and C only means that food and nutrition and Chinese only are 12. Okay, and now we are in for that. Let's draw now our Venn diagram such that we get everything substituted, and then we calculate without wasting okay time. Okay, now with that, let's start naming. Okay, we have our, let's start naming our set, putting in the values we have here, right? Just whatever I put in there, whatever I put in there. Okay, very good. So with this, let's, I think, start off. So we shall start with number in the universe is 120. Okay, of course you can really see that, okay, this number in the universe is 120, and I put it outside. Then also number in F is x. After letting from the logic part, we have it as that. Number in C is 2x, we have it as that. Then number in, okay, we need to really put this forward. Okay, number in fine art is here. Number in fine art is 3 hours 40. So this is unknown, this is unknown, this is known. Like we are. The next, the number. Now I want to tell you something, is that whenever you're dealing with the Venn diagram number, the first thing you must put in is this. After putting these other ones outside here, the first thing you must substitute in is the one for all the three, which you had just right here, if you can really see that. Okay, now still again, let's proceed. So shall have that value 10. 10 is for this area here where they said that F only, this is the same as F only. This is a complement. So this one without a complement, you read it and say only, so it is F only. So F only is this, okay, area, and F, in fact, unless I think, okay, all right, good. So there we are. Now you realize that what you're having here is that, okay, so they're like number in, we have this. Allow me erase off this since I've already explained the other ones. Allow me erase them off. Okay, let me erase off this. Okay, now you realize that here number in fine art, now you see a C has a complement, F has a complement, that those of fine art only are 10. So fine art only, number in fine art, art is A, and it's just 10 right there, if you can really see that. Now number in F intersection is C, but A has a complement, that F and C only, those who offer food and nutrition and Chinese only were 12. So food and nutrition and Chinese, whenever they say that word only, then it means that it must appear in that place, and we just put it direct. So food and nutrition is here and Chinese here, so that 12 of ours must just appear in that area only. Then we proceed. Okay, now without wasting time, let's, I think, move on. So our 12 will just be right there, if you can really see that. Now, after putting everything, like look, we have a 10 right there, we have this 12 right here, we have this 10 right there. The lines can really show. So you have put almost each and everything, but you're having some spaces. Look, we have, oh, by the way, we have to enter even this 25 here. Now, number in F intersection A. Where is F intersection A? F is here and A is here. So the intersection must be here, but there is no, the word only is not there, meaning that this 25 covers this whole area like this, where I'm circling like that. 25 covers the whole area there. So what we're going to do to get for only that part, shall say a 25 minus a 10. Okay, allow me erase of this. So 25 minus a 10, we shall write it direct. In fact, now, okay, we have, all right, okay, good. So 25 minus a 10. Now, why are we letting letters here? It's because we didn't have anything for that area, we didn't have anything for that space, we didn't have anything for that space. Whenever you substitute in a Venn diagram, realize that there are some blank spaces remaining in there, then what you have to do there is simply, okay, what you have to do there is simply, okay, you put letters of your choice just in that area there. Now, our aim is to have this equation solved such that, rather this, the unknown is solved such that we can, okay, get the to know whether the head teacher should buy the textbooks. That only comes if you have the Venn diagram completed. Now, how are we going to begin the story? Look, I say that we have the number in fine art, which is A, but set number in fine art is this set here, which can help us get the value of M first of all. And so we are beginning from there. So shall I now say that? Shall I say that number in fine art is equal to 40? Okay, good. Which means that I shall have some values added. Like, say for example, our 10 is there normal way, and another 10 is here. And now a 25 minus 10 will give us a 15, which you have there. Then again, our M is just right there. So we want to get the value of M, and I think let's step into that. We get it straight away. So shall we proceed? So M plus 35 is equal to 40, and when you solve, you realize that M is equal to 40 minus 35. Then the value of M will simply be what? 5. Now, having gotten that, we have the value of M is 5, meaning that this whole set is complete. Now we're remaining with small a and small b in that area, of which where A is just F only, and where B is just C only. But this one is 2x on the outside, and yet is x from this logic part which we earlier alone analyzed. So what are we going to do? Simply you are going to start off just like we said that number in A is equal to 40. Let's again go to number in F, which is food and nutrition. So number in F is equal to x. Yeah, of course, our total from the logic part. So there we shall say we are going to add whatever is inside that circle, and then we have this. So the circle we are dealing with is this, that. Okay. Okay, good. So having reached that level, we are now proceeding. You realize that number in F is equal to x is this whole set here. Now our aim here is to get what is this A right here in terms of x there. So the A is right here, you can see the A is right there, the 12 is right here, and the 10 is just right there, and now 25 minus 10 is 15, you have it right there. So you have to make A the subject of the formula in the next step. So we shall say that A plus, when you add this plus that, you get a 37 equals to x, which will now give us, make A the subject, you get the additive inverse, that will cancel out. So our A will simply be equal to x minus 37, which you shall come and substitute it just right there, which is okay, x minus 37, which we have gotten as the value of A right here. So we're going to do the same to get the value of B. Let's do the same, and we're using the logic that, how shall we get the value of B? We're using the logic that number in C is equal to x. Please, we began with the number in F, we got A. Number in F, we got the value of A. Now let's get the number in C, which is equal to x. So number in C, we're going to add the guys inside here equals to that to x. But remember, M is 5, so we shall get it added. So our B is just right here, and our M is just right here, and our 10 in the middle is just right here, and our 12 is just right there. So there, let's summarize. We want the value of B, but remember M is 5 already, so we shall say, okay, now our M we have substituted is a 5, just like from just right here. Okay, good. Now what does it mean? It means that we need to get the value of B. So value of B will be equal to a 2x minus 27, because when you add a 12 plus 10 will be 22, plus 5 will be 27, and when it crosses the equal sign, to be a 2x minus 27, which you shall come and put directly here. Okay, now having done that, these a's are now useless for us. Those still we shall leave them right there. Now what do you think we're going to do here? We need to find the values of the unknown such that we can have a complete Venn diagram which will help us answer the next question. But how shall we get it completed? We shall say we add this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this equate to the number in the universal. Then we shall be able to get the value of x, and with that we shall have harmonized most of the parts. Let's go to the next part. Okay, so in here we're going to say, first of all, we are considering the Venn diagram and we have added everything. Like what I'm meaning, if you can check on this Venn diagram of ours, okay, if you can check on the Venn diagram of ours, this one here, in fact, if you check on it, we are adding the values just right here. You're going to see this within there, a plus a 12 plus a 2x minus 27 plus a 10 plus a 15 plus m, which was 5, plus again a 10 equals to 120, and that's what we're going to do straight away. So we proceed, and of course when you can look into the Venn diagram we have already there, the 40 is with it. Now what I've done here is simply, where is this 40 coming from? Like, say for example, I'll give you an example here. Like we had this, I'll draw for a Venn diagram here. We had this, but you all really saw that the number in A was equal to what? To 40. If you can really see that. But the whole set A covers this whole area here. So it means that if this whole circle is A, where I've shaded there, so I only considered what is here, here, and here. So this whole circle takes on A, which is 40. That's why I've written there 40, plus the 12 which we had here, and plus the x minus 37 which you had here, and also the 2x minus 27. In fact, let me just repeat the whole real Venn diagram and look at it. Like what you have done here is simply this. I'll have to explain this. It is some logic you can also use in your set theory. Like, say for example, this whole space here, if you can really see here, that whole space I've circled is for number in fine art, which is 40. So if that whole space is 40, then you have just added this plus this equal to that. So that will now be 40 plus, now 40 covers that whole circle, so don't bring anything in that circle. We are finished to get up rate because it is within that 40. So now we have that 40 plus, okay, here we have x minus 37, okay, plus a 12 which is just right here, plus a 2x minus 27 plus a 2x minus 27. This is equal to 120, and then we shall get this equation solved. That 40 is coming from this whole circle here has 40, so you know we'll get value of this area, and that area. Hope that really makes some bit of okay sense. And now let's proceed. So okay, with that explanation, I hope that really makes some bit of sense. Let's move on. So we want the value of x, so there we shall say, okay, so we want the value of x, and when you solve here, when you add a 40 plus a 12 plus a 37 minus a 27, the whole stuff you get will be this. Like the negatives will give you this plus a 52, because the 40 plus 12 is a 52, and the negative 37 plus minus a negative 27 will give you a negative 64, all equal to that. So when you harmonize, you'll get a 3x minus 12, but plus 12, that's a negative inverse. Of course, when you add 64, plus 52, all you get is a negative 12, like a meaning negative 64 plus a 52. The answer you'll get will be a negative 12. But since you want to solve, negative 12 plus 12 will give us 120 plus 12, so which will give us 3x is equal to 132. Okay, now having done that, okay, sorry for that. Okay, having done that, let's proceed. Okay, having done that, let's now get the value of x. So getting the value of x, we shall now come and say dividing both sides by 3. So our x will simply be equal to 44. So like we have the value of x already with us. So value of x is 44. So what you're going to do, we're going to redraw our Venn diagram straight away. So we're going to redraw our Venn diagram straight away. So redrawing our Venn diagram, we shall put the letters in there, define everything, then we proceed straight away. Okay, without wasting time. So let's now draw our Venn diagram. A simple reminder, number in F was that, and also number in C is that. I will show you how that has come about. and also we have that within, have that within, have that within. Okay, after substituting, that's what you get. Like what I'm meaning is this, like our x is 44. Let's come back here. So if our x is 44, what are we going to be doing? In fact, here, what are we going to be doing? If our x is 44, what are we going to be doing right here? So now here, if our x is 44, our x is 44, it means that when I try to redraw the Venn diagram here, okay, x is 44, meaning that 44 minus 37, how much will you get? How much will you get, by the way? When you subtract there, 44 minus 37, you will get a 7. You have it there. This 12 is just right straight away. So this is now times 2 times 44 will give us 88. And now 88 minus 27, how much will you get? Here we shall have a 61. The aim is as usual 5. Then here this gives us 15. And of course, when looking to that, that's what we have just right here in that completed Venn diagram. This, that. After substituting the value of x. Okay, you have a right to put here 0. There is no harm. Okay, good. Now, having done that, but let's refer to the question. What did the question say? Part A of the question. I'll simply give you a flashback. Like, part A of the question said that head teacher agreed to purchase new Chinese textbooks if the probability of a learner taking Chinese is greater than 50%. So here what you simply do, for you don't worry about their 50%, for you just go and find the probability. You repeat your question as you do this question. In fact, you must come and get, okay, you come and find that a probability of a learner taking Chinese, you will only solve this. For you find this for us. Then after finding it, you compare with the 50%. If it is greater, then the man should buy. If it is low, the man shouldn't buy. Or anyway, the head teacher, sorry. Okay, now having done that, we shall now all remind ourselves that the formula for probability says that probability of a learner taking Chinese is equal to up there number of learners taking Chinese over number in the universal. That's how we get the probability. Like here we put what they are talking about. Like what are they talking about? Numbers of learners taking Chinese is what you put up. Down here it is a must. It must be number in the universal. And as far as this question is concerned, number in the universal is simply 120. And now still to refer you back to this. Look, to refer you back to this, you can really see that the number of those taking Chinese, after harmonization is just 88. If you can really see from here, when you add this plus this plus this plus that, we get to 88. So to be now our 88 over number in the universal, which was 120. Let's go and look into that. Okay, quickly, let's go. So realize that here we shall now say that probability of a learner taking Chinese equals to that 88 over 120. That's the probability. And now in decimal we shall have it as 0.333 recurring. Now, but we need it in percentage. So in percentage, you shall have multiply this by 100, of course, to see. So after that, we multiply, then we shall get the probability of a learner taking Chinese in a percentage. That's what I'm having in the bracket there, will be 73.33. Now they're like, if the probability is greater than 50, then the head teacher has to buy textbooks. Now look at this. Is the 70 greater than 50? Yes. Then what's your recommendation? By the way, your recommendation should be, okay, we shall say that head teacher should purchase new Chinese textbooks since the probability of a learner, since the probability of a learner taking Chinese is greater than 50%. Yeah, you can also see that it's indeed greater than 50%, as simple as that. Okay, part A of the question has been successfully answered. Now, I think how technical this number was, you really need to watch this video to the end such that you don't miss out the next burning stuff. All right, good. So we now go to part B. So in part B says, let's go there. Saying determine the likelihood. Now this word likelihood may also mean the same thing as a probability. Likelihood also means the same thing like probability, so nothing new here. So determine the probability that a learner studied more than one subject. Probability that a learner studied more than one subject. By the way, more than one subject. Look, more than one subject. From the inequality, this will be 2, 3. By the way, so but the 2 way is the 2. The 2, if you do the Venn diagram like this, okay, prefer using this. This is 1, 1, 1, because it's only 1, only 1, only 1. This is 2, only 2, only 2, only 2. Then this one is okay, all the 3. So So that's what I'm meaning. Okay. Now let's go there. Determine the likelihood that a learner studied more than one subject. Let's go there and look into that. So probe a learner, okay, studying more than one subject. Let's go there. So again, we shall remind you that, okay, likelihood that, I'm sorry, that was in some small font for a reason that was not fitting on our board. So we shall say that probability likelihood that a learner studied more than one subject is equal to, I don't know if they're able to see that, you can zoom a bit. Okay, number in a learner studied more than one subject over number in the universe. So like I told you, the probability down is always the same. Here we put what they've asked for is what we put up here. Then it's always a fraction. Then next, let's come and get this. We said that number in a learner studied more than one subject. What are we going to consider? We are going to add those values just right there. Now, a learner studying more than one subject is this. Look, let's go here. So number in a learner studying more than one subject is this one. Simply, let's go in for this. So more than one subject, here it is only, these are two subjects, these are two subjects, these are two subjects, these are three. Now when they say more than one subject, when you try to provide a solution set, give us numbers more than one, to be a 2 and a 3. Why we're ending on a 3 is because we have a 3 set Venn diagram. That's why we're ending on a 3. So these 2 means these areas here, here, and there. So it will be 12 plus 10 plus 15 plus 5. And I think that's what we have just right. Okay, there. Okay, and we have it right there. And now our total is a 42. So our probability will be, shall I say that the likelihood that a learner studied more than one subject is equal to, okay, now we shall say a 42 over number in the universal, which is 120. You can leave the answer as that, or you can write it in decimal form. Okay, if it is in decimal form, then write 4 decimal places, as simple as that. Okay, done with part B. Let's go and look at the mighty part C. Okay, part C, what are they saying? What are they saying in part C? So part C here, they are telling us that determine the number of learners who opted for a required number of subjects. Yeah, they want us to determine the number of learners who opted for a required number of subjects. But again, this may be a bit confusing to you. In fact, this is the real part I want you to pay much attention. Like, I'll take you back there. I'll give you an extract. Somewhere in the item, they gave us this statement, if you can all remember. Okay, now we are like, number, that's what I've asked us. Number of learners who opted for a required number of subjects. Anyway, what does that mean? Okay, we have it here in different ink. So shall I say that they say that as a requirement, this is the, I'm picking it from the question, original question, where you see in this color, I'm picking it from the original question. They say that as a requirement for the NLSC, learners in a certain institution have to opt for either food and nutrition, fine art, or Chinese as a language. I don't know whether you can really look into that. I don't know whether you can really look into that. So that a learner can choose for either food and nutrition only, fine art only, or Chinese only. That's what you're trying to refer to here. So in simple terms, they're meaning this: number of learners who opted for only one subject. Yes, originally they wanted someone to just do one subject at a go, which will simply be a 7 plus 61 plus a 10. Where is that coming from? Let's go here. So you can really see here that for only fine art, look, for only fine art you have a 10, of course fine art there. For only food and nutrition you have a 7, you have it right there. For only Chinese it is just that. That was the requirement originally in the, okay, that's the requirement they wanted from them to begin with. Okay, and now with that, that marks the end of this item. See you again in item 4, which is also another hot one. Please consider we have very many items in our channel. You can go and watch others, more and more and more. Okay, now so here this is where we end, but take note of this statement: as a requirement for the NLSC, the learners in a certain institution have to opt for either. Now either means that you are taking food and nutrition only, fine art only, or Chinese only as a language. You see this word here, as a language. As a language. Are you seeing? Chinese as a language. In fact, they were like either food and nutrition, fine art, or Chinese. So just pick one. Either. Just one. That's why we say that here it means that number of learners who opted for only one type, only one subjects, only one type of subjects. In fact, that's what the language you meant to use here. That's what that means. I don't know whether that really makes a bit of sense, but I would beg we end there. Okay, simply we I'm very, very grateful for the time you take to watch the videos. Thank you for watching. See you again in item 4. Nice day.